I'm Hokey Joker.
Bat Drew.
Green Lantern.
And welcome to Just Us Bros Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to Just Us Bros Podcast. And today we're going to talk about the best definitive live action superhero from all of your favorite, franchises and whatnot. So what superhero should we start off with first? Green Lantern, give me one.
Superman.
Ooh, I gotta go with Henry Cavill. Period. I'm gonna give him the gawk on that one.
Why?
Well, I mean he's the most real. I mean, the effects that you have with the superhero. I mean, you can go back and look at the '70s movie, and yeah, Christopher Reeve was great, but Henry Cavill's got that. Henry Cavill's just a good actor. So
we'll take the effects out. Who portrayed the character the best?
Well, it depends on which version of the character of it, because
Superman, just Superman, accurate Superman.
Okay, let's comic book from like 1939 or Rebirth.
Any of them.
Henry Cavill, I think he's the best. He's modern day Superman. I mean, even his like journalistic Clark Kent looks like it fits in today's world. Like skinny tie and all, riding a bike, or his bicyclette just cute.
I feel like we haven't seen enough from Tyler on CW Superman and Lois, but I would go with he's probably the best portrayed right now. Because I mean, season 1 was great. I'm still getting into season 2. I think I missed a few episodes of season 2, but yeah, I really like how he's holding it down. Like in the first season, I really felt like that was the wholesome Superman that we were looking for. Which not to say Henry wasn't great, but it was a different take on the character. But for me, damn. Yeah, I would still go with Tyler over Christopher Reeve because I think I like him more because that's the one I grew up on, but I think Tyler had a better so far better arc for him for the character.
Well, I think with that, like at least Superman and Lois, he's the family dad, and he's not really doing his Clark Kent journalism thing. He's just trying to be a protective dad. So I feel like with Superman, you got to have the Clark Kent in there as far as journalism.
Well, that being said, too, we only saw just a touch of that with Henry, right?
But we saw it more in those movies than we do with Tyler and Superman and Lois.
But Superman and Lois kind of takes place, let's say, 10 years to 15 years after any of the Superman movies do, because Clark and Lois are already together. They have teenage boys. So it's like 15 years in the future for many of the other stories.
To go back on your point with journalistic side of Superman, remember that show Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman? Wasn't he very much reporter savvy in that show too? I think with Dean Cain.
Yeah,
Dean Cain, not Dean Koontz.
No.
Okay, GL. Well, who's the best Superman to you?
Well, I'm going to be an a-hole and just go with Tom Welling because, again, we talked about Tyler Hoechlin being 15 years after. Tom Welling was like a good 5-10 years before Superman in his prime. I wish I could have seen him suit up sooner than 10 seasons, but as far as portraying Clark Kent, I think Tom Welling did an excellent job.
Okay, fan cast for Superman. Anybody coming up?
In his prime, Cody Rhodes. You guys know who Cody Rhodes is?
Yeah. Stardust.
Yes.
I once knew someone that was cousins with him.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, if we're going back in time, prime. I mean, even though we've seen pictures of it, I would love to see. Just one time, I'd like to see a Nicolas Cage Superman. Not for a franchise, just the one time.
Damn it, that's what I was thinking.
We almost did, yeah.
But
There's actually a documentary by John Schnepp, Superman Lives, What Happened. You should watch that. That's a great watch.
But he did voice Superman in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. But like, I just the thought of him like swooping down over like a Lex Luthor and going, "There you are," and like chasing him like he does in Vampire Diaries.
Wrong.
Not Vampire Diaries. Crap. Vampire's Kiss.
What have you been watching?
Make Vampire's Diary a better show. Period. Never seen that either, but can just assume. Okay, Bat Drew, give me a superhero.
Why are we going like this?
I don't know, because there's only two of you and I'm doing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it's your turn.
here's another fresh one. Who's the best Spider-Man for you?
Best Spider-Man.
Yes.
Best
Why do I?
Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Best Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire.
Why and why?
Uh, Quippy, Tom Holland, jokes, very physical, all that stuff. But Peter Parker as the nerd, Tobey Maguire picture, he looks very timid and all that. And Andrew Garfield's not in any discussion. He was an emo kid, and he did not fit either one, in my opinion. He was depressed. It's like they tried to make Dark Knight Spider-Man, but Tom Holland best Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire best Peter Parker.
Well, for me, it's definitely a close race. But I actually, you know what? I actually think Garfield was a pretty damn good Spider-Man. And I guess his Peter Parker. Well, his Peter Parker was like awkward, but it worked for his movies. Oh man, but I still think I liked his Spider-Man the best. Sorry, Toby. I mean, you're very, very close second, but overall, like, yeah, for Spider-Man, I would think Garfield. For Peter Parker, I guess Toby would win out on that for Peter Parker for me.
Yeah, but that's with Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield, or at least with Spider-Man and Tobey's Spider-Man, he wasn't really quippy. He just had a joke, maybe like every so
Well, for
often.
him, for me, Toby Spider-Man felt like a Spider-Man, not a teenage boy in
Spider-Boy.
high school.
Yeah, he was too buff in that suit, in my opinion. Looking back, in retrospect, he's too buff, but we got more movies now.
And you've heard it here first. Tobey Maguire is too buff for VT Joker. So Green Lantern, who was your favorite for each or
I
best
don't
for
know that I have
each?
a favorite. I liked all three in different ways. Um, for nostalgic purposes, obviously Tobey Maguire is going to win, but I think looking back, if I'm looking at the movies, those movies are great. The new movies with Tom Holland are great. Andrew Garfield, I love the two movies. I wish we would have got the third in that trilogy. I think they all played the character kind of differently. Andrew Garfield was so different from Tobey Maguire. And then I feel like Tom Holland was a good mix between the two as far as being a smartass and also like, I mean, he was a kid though. So
I don't want people to think I'm an Andrew Garfield hater, because back when the second one came out, I was more excited to see that than Winter Soldier. So, and I think everybody hated on Andrew Garfield when he came back in Far From Home. Like, oh, we love him, miss him. No, you didn't. You hated him back in 2014. So y'all need to shut up. That's my
No,
opinion
I
on
was
that.
still on the Andrew Garfield train all the way back. Like Green Lantern was saying, I was really hoping for that third movie, but to me, I think it was way too much studio interference for the second movie, where they were trying to set up too much and not didn't worry about the freaking movie where they did him dirty. He tried his best, but like I said, yeah, that third Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield would have been phenomenal, I would think. And also,
but
side note for Tom Holland, I feel like they told Tom Holland, "Hey, here's a Miles Morales comic. Act like him," because he kind of felt like a live action Miles for me. He was still good at what he did, but it just felt like it was more of a Miles than a Peter to me.
which it's about time for a live action Miles Morales.
If Tom Holland wasn't there, who would you put?
Ooh, of known people, because I don't know, like, oh, I mean, what's his name? Timothy Chalamet from Dune. I think he could probably do a good job.
Ooh, no, I
I
don't agree
don't
with that.
know. Yeah. I'm just going by looks. I don't know. I'd have to think on it, because
I
I
have
don't
to
know
go with
actors nowadays.
I don't quite know the actor's name because I like other actors from the show better, but I'd have to go with John B from Outer Banks.
Hashtag we are doing an Outer Banks cast soon. So keep your eyes and ears peeled
And
for that.
Drew, you got to get a picture up of John B when you do that.
John
And
B.
also put a picture of Sarah up there too.
John B.
Don't be.
No, that just sounds like something from the Waltons. John B. Did you milk the cow today, John B? I don't
That's
know.
John Boy.
Same thing to me.
You're thinking of
John
John
B.
Boy
Did you
and
rescue
Billy.
that woman from the lifeguard stand?